What's up, y'all? This is Michael Franti and you are watching FrantiV. As I said before, today's episode is dedicated to yoga, and we are at one of my favorite yoga studios in America here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We are at Yoga One. One of the owners, Steve Knight, is here. He's a good buddy of mine. Steve, tell him about Yoga One. How do you get started and what do you do here?
Well, my wife and I own it. It's her brainchild. I just stepped up to run it, and I ended up now teaching and doing teacher trainings and full-time yoga. So we're getting ready to expand, but it's now my life. This is what I do, and this is what I was called to do. And can't think of any other way to do it. It's awesome.
And also we have here Andrea and Jeffrey, who are really good buddies of mine, who I met through Jiva Mukti Yoga in New York City. I want to say hello and a big shout out to Sharon Gannon and David Life, who are our teachers.
We have Jiva Mukti Yoga Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina, which is just 3 hours south of here. And we're the only Jiva Mukti Yoga Center in the United States outside of New York City.
Woo!
It's a great honor, and it's a lot of fun. It's an amazing place. So if you're in Charleston, come see us anytime.
What can you tell somebody about practicing yoga who's never been in yoga before? Like, what would be a good reason to start? Or
well, I think a good reason to start is that yoga improves your relationship with everything. So because it improves your relationship with you, and
how does it do that?
It focuses on a very simple thing called your breath, which most people are not conscious of, which we have from the moment we're born to the moment we die. So the idea is if you can pay attention to that, you're going to learn all sorts of things that you may have habitually been denying. What you like, your intuition, your dislikes, and you just go from there. Really, the only requirement you need is a willingness and a sense of adventure.
Cool. When I first started practicing yoga, I found it really challenging because my body was really stiff, and there's times when I would get into a posture, pose, and I would start to hold it, and I'd feel like I just want to spring out of it. And all these things just start to come up for me, like, God, I'm not good at this, I'm not, I was never a good basketball player as a kid, my dad hated me, all these things start running through your mind. And then you learn to start to breathe through that. So can you maybe talk about what that sensation is like when you start doing something you feel like you just can't do it? Or
yeah, well, it's a practice, and it's important that the asana practice brings you to that place where you feel yourself in an edge, because if you're not shaken up like that, then you won't know what's deep down, whether it's anger, fear, jealousy, whatever is not really our true nature. It's like it pulls all that stuff up so you can see, this is anger, and watch it. And because we can watch it, we can understand it's not really us, that it's impermanent, it's going to pass through.
Steve, there's a lot of different types of yoga, many different schools of thoughts and types of teaching around this country and around the world. You guys do a particular kind of yoga here that's pretty intense, it's pretty physically active, very sweaty. Can you talk about it?
It's a power vinyasa class, but one of the things that speaks to me about this approach is that it's very accessible and available for anybody, and we just really try to speak to just taking it at your own speed, and taking it easy and then cranking it up or down, whatever you need. So you just take from that what you need and take it in instead of taking yourself out. So it can be as powerful you want or as restorative as you want. So,
cool.
But simple, simplicity.
You guys also have a class here today that's for people who are trying to get their life on track, homeless people who've gone through rough times. Can you tell us about that class here?
Yeah, Urban Ministries, something I was asked to teach for about 3 years ago uptown, and these guys are doing a fantastic job getting money for these guys to get them back on the street, back on the path. And part of their structure, their regimen, is to take 2 yoga classes a week. Just amazing to go in there and see these guys, not necessarily willing at first, but they come out just a different person every time. Still resistant, but still letting go. And I just recommend watching that shift in anybody.
When did you start practicing yoga?
I started practicing yoga I got around it about 10 years ago. I didn't commit and really start practicing until about, I guess, 4.5 years ago now. Ashtanga and Iyengar.
And what are the benefits that you find being a traveling musician in and out of the bus, city to city, every day? How does it help support your music?
I think that it's a really chaotic lifestyle that we lead, in a good way, beautiful chaos. But it really helps to keep you grounded and to keep you going. Keep your stamina up and keep your head on right.
And how about you, Jolene? How long have you been practicing?
Almost a year and a half. My first time really getting into it was actually with Michael. It's just nice to break up the day and to have something where you're going and you know that you're just going to focus only on yourself and get a really good sweat. I'm absolutely soaking wet. And it just makes you feel better the rest of the day. I have more energy and I'm also able to relax better too after the day. It's been going, finally slowing down.
I started practicing yoga right after September 11th of 2001, right after the attacks occurred. A couple days later, I was looking for something that would help me to get through the stresses of that time, but I found that the more I practiced, the more yoga became a part of every aspect of my life. So every day we're on tour, we're always looking for a new class to go to. So if you have a yoga school in your town and you see that we are coming to your area, please write to us on Facebook. Let us know that you are available. And even if there's no school there, if you're somebody who teaches or if you're just somebody who wants to come and practice with us at some time, a lot of times we're just in a parking lot like this one right here outside the bus and practicing. So if you're down, just write to us on Facebook and we'll see you on the road. From Charlotte, North Carolina, you're watching FrantiV.